And that's what I'm saying. That's what's wrong with the world. People keep grouping and putting people inside this box.
Yeah.
You know, and it's your own folks. Like the fact that I don't know who that individual was. Like I don't know them from a can of paint, but for you to make that comment, I thought that was the stupidest shit in the world. I was like, you definitely, you did not help anything right there.
Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, what do you know? Welcome to the Bowl Podcast. Shout out to Hustle 5 Boys for hosting. I'm your host, Nas.
It's your guy, Tall Man, live from Dubai.
And as always, In the Bowl Podcast, sponsored by your nation's own #1 mobile hookah provider. Where they not only do private events, they do wholesale distribution and take that event to the next level. Experience, just the whole thought and even disposition on how to make non-believers into believers of just how good the time is. What's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. You know, got kind of worried, man. I'm excited. Life is good, you know. Life is good. Just just excited. Everything is. We finally, you see, I got the Scully on. You see what season it is. So life is good. Now we also out of that heat hoodie season. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I see y'all went from summer straight into winter, man. I think y'all skipped fall.
Yeah, I know I used to complain, be like, man, you can't be complaining over like 60. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie. Going from like 90 to 50, yeah, that ain't no joke. I walked out one day, and yeah, I think I went through all the seasons. I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, man.
Real quick.
Only in the DMV, man. Only in the DMV.
Shit wild, man. Shit wild. What's up with you though, man?
Oh man, not too much, man. I know, we missed last week, so we got a lot, to cover this week, and I think that your hat has already, kicked off the conversation about football season, man. It's gonna be another uphill battle, man. That's all I got to say, man. I caught the first. I think it was the first quarter of the game. It came on 9 p.m. here, so I watched it until probably about maybe 2-3 minutes into the second quarter, and I could kind of see where that game was going to go, man. So I will not be a bitter, Washington fan. I will say, hey, congratulations on the win. Good game, and we'll see you all in some weeks.
I hear you. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna do a toast before I have to go. We're gonna do it. Cheers to it. It's a good week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cheers.
Making non-believers believers. Because it makes me just think, right? So in the very first game of the season, when Dak got hurt, I'll never forget this. I went to a golfing event that very next Monday, or that Monday, right?
Okay.
And it was in the area, right? And so a lot of people I work with work along the whole Mid-Atlantic. So you got Eagle fans. You just got Commander, whatever y'all call yourselves. You got Giant fans. So you got the whole, obviously, NFC East. But then you just got everyone, right? So
okay.
Event. And we were playing golf, so I was chilling. I had my little golf shirt on, right? But it was a Cowboys one. And I'm going to tell you, I think for a good 98% of people who I passed had a comment. They were like, yeah, I don't know what y'all going to do. Y'all season looks, whew. Y'all just look like, whew. I heard it all. I was like, man, you're a brave one for wearing that one today. Oh, why would you wear that? I guess you just, you're not in tune in reality. I heard everything underneath the sun. So I want to fast forward now into all those folks, anyone else who doubted. I just want you to look at the record right now. And I'm going to leave that there. I feel like I should have started off there. So, in my
Here we go.
calmness, I'm cooling.
Yeah. I mean, you Cowboys fans, I mean, preseason, even before the season starts, I mean, you all are talking about, how good you look on paper, and this is our year. We're gonna, win the NFC East, and we're gonna do this and do that, and like I always say, I mean, it's 17 weeks in the season, man. The 17 games, however you want to, call it, but we'll see. I mean, it's still early on. I mean, out the
I
gate,
agree.
I will say you all are looking semi impressive. With your backup quarterback in, and it's been some news about your owner. Trying to put the battery in Dak's back. Because y'all gave him all that money. When it does come back, that that he needs to perform and stay on that same trajectory y'all are on, but like I said, it's still early. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking at the the Washington team of possibly getting to 500. I know it's definitely some changes that have to happen. Because what I'm seeing so far, I am not impressed at all. I know that there's a lot of potential out there. You got some young cats, but we're gonna see if they can right this ship and things get better. But like I said, we'll see as the season progresses. Exactly how things are gonna play out,
And I hear you, right? And it is still early, but it's good your last game, right? So
man.
whether we whether we go to the Super Bowl or not, that's the crazy thing about it, right? It's like even the first game, right? And it's like that shit happened, and it was that was a scary moment, right? But it pulled together. And one thing I will say about that first game, even though that game was horrendous, I will say that the Bucks didn't win that game. The boys lost that game.
I mean, the Bucks are, kind of in struggle mode themselves right now. I mean, you look at, what's going on with their receiving core, and Brady trying to pull it together. And my man, Kirking out on the sidelines, destroying tablets, to the point where the NFL, the league had to send out a memo saying, hey, we need for you all not to be destroying this equipment. So
It's funny, right? And so I think honestly, I think it's starting to really come out into light as to why, he missed preseason or not even preseason. Was that reporting to camp? I think that kind of it's evident now because all that's coming up now is what he's going through some marital issues.
Yeah, I mean, that quarterback position is a very mental position, man. So if your head ain't right, it's definitely gonna translate out in the field. But again, everybody's a professional. I mean, you got a job to do. You got to be able to carp. You got to be able to separate the two and just move forward. So I don't know how it's gonna play out with him and his situation. Again, I mean, what's going on between him and his wife. I try to, leave those situations alone, and I'm just looking for some good entertainment. I'm out here watching football, 9 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
So as a fan of the sport, I am here for the competitive fire, the competitive nature, and hopefully that man can, pull himself together.
You're right. You're right. You don't want to get into that, but I will sit there and say, and I'm not being insensitive. but I did have him as my quarterback for fantasy.
Ouch.
And then, so, unfortunately, I had to bench him. And tell me, how many seasons would you ever think in someone's fantasy draft or fantasy league that they would be benching Brady?
Yeah, I mean it's wild. I had Brady last year, and the man would come through. I mean, he may have a down week, here or there, but he was definitely good for a good 30, 40 points. So
I hear you. I hear you. I was blown because I had Tua, right, and I'm really hoping Tua pulls through. I think really
oh man,
stuff happened to him, right? But I was starting Tua.
yeah, and that's a whole nother wild situation.
You
It's kicked
know,
off a lot of conversation about injuries and I saw the man stumbling and just watching that whole thing play out. I hope he gets back on his feet because the Dolphins they were about to make some noise, man.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if how far they were going to go, but they definitely you saw the changes in that organization, and I know Dom, the Dolphins guy. I know he was boosted, but
yeah. Now
that's a tough one, man.
some noise. He got a couple. He got a couple options now, so that was solid. I know we're not a sports show, but like you said, two highly opinionated folks. Football is definitely one of our things, right? And that's what we do. It's that time of the season, that time of the year. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. I don't know. Football right now is just wild. Like right now, it's my folks are winning, so I'm cool. I had a couple of Commander folks on my team, and I had to play them over, over my lead running back. But it is what it is.
Nah, but on a good note, so what about your girl Rihanna is lined up to, perform at the halftime show this year? That's two back-to-back Super Bowl halftime shows that are
Ultra.
representing the culture, man. I think that's going to be a nice show because Rihanna, hey, she's a performer. She shows up and shows out.
Yeah, I mean that's big. That's big. That's big. So I definitely I hats off to Rihanna. I love seeing that. I love seeing that. Like you said, I think we go back to what Jay-Z did, right? Jay-Z, he just paved that way without even performing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He just changed that whole narrative, and I will not sit there and take anything away from past performers, right? Janet Jackson, Michael, I will not take anything away.
yeah,
But I think right now, you got people like that in the world that are truly leaving their footprint, and not even being directly in it, right? And so I don't know, man. Just hats off, and these last Super Bowl, we'll never forget that one. They had some folks on there.
yeah. That was a lineup, man.
That was a
That,
line. That was a concert in itself.
exactly. Usually Super Bowl is like, I'm up, refreshing the plate, refreshing the cup. But that one I actually, stuck around. It's like, look, I want to see this one, man. So that was definitely something to see. So I'm looking forward to see what Rihanna does, man, because the
Yeah,
bar has been raised, after last year, so she definitely has to come through with something. You can't just pop out and sing a few songs. She has to, give the ultimate performance here, on one of
yeah,
the biggest stages.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. And I'm excited to see what it's about to look like. I'm excited to see. But then again, we got other news. It's just I don't know. You just can't ever just. You just gotta figure out your own wave and just ride that own wave because this the way this world is. There's always something, right?
Every day,
So
man.
on the opposite end of the spectrum, how you feel about your man Kanye with White Lives Matter?
You know, we always say, we're highly opinionated individuals, and as of lately, there has been an organization, and I'm not going, putting names out there, but a lot of negative publicity has been, surrounding this organization. And, I don't know what's what because, like I said, I mean, we're only getting, bits and pieces and updates of, what's going on with finances and money and things like that. Until that's all flushed out, I'm not gonna harp on that.
Yeah.
But I understand some of the arguments around it, of that, we're looking at from the outside in of, that, some individuals, may not, honor, or respect, our lives. And I see the other individuals who are saying, well, you all don't honor your lives, So I mean, it's a difficult, situation to navigate, and
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But I don't know if Kanye is going about things the right way. I know that he's, a very passionate individual
Yeah.
who, likes to express himself. And sometimes he goes to those far extremes. And, we always say, pushing the envelope, but sometimes this man just destroys the envelope.
Yeah. Nah,
You
nah.
know, so I, so I think it may have been, a better way for him to, get his point across, or whatever his point is. Because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't have any clue of what his point is. Because that was a shocker. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
So yeah, I mean, so this is look, we're about to get into some opinions here, all right? So you feel whatever type of way you want to feel. I can't help that, but I will sit there and say that I think the biggest issue, and this is to me only, I think the biggest issue is that people are just definitely misunderstanding, like, fuck all the organizations, fuck all this other stuff. Like, I don't even care about any of that, right? Just thinking about a
Okay.
stick saying Black Lives Matter, right? And so when that really came about, it was really obviously, you know what I'm saying, when we've had just, the cop killings and everything like that, and, us being just targeted, which we've always been targeted. We just have now cell phones and we see it. Like this is nothing new, right? And unfortunately, it's we're hoping and praying for light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just where it is because I think just as black folks, I think that there's so many targets that we have, whether it's against from our own people, others, you have both, right? And so, I just think of the quote, and again, you can think it as small minded, but I think that it is it's a statement just saying like our lives matter, right? Black lives matter. And I think a lot of people got it mixed up and saying, oh, you only think your life matters. No, we're not saying that. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Black lives do matter. Like it's sad that of the rate that we are leaving this earth, whether it's from others or it's from, our own folks. And I don't know. I am interested to see where Kanye is about to go with it because he always pushes some wild ass envelope when something's coming out, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, that Trump shit, he just does wild, weird shit. And like you said, he probably could have gone about it a better way, but it's also starting a conversation, right? So, is he making it to where? And it's just me thinking, right? It's like
Okay.
I saw one picture. He had the chick who she's fucking I don't know where the fuck she I keep forgetting her name. Excuse me for the ignorance of just calling her the chick. But we got one individual wearing a white shirt with black lettering, White Lives Matter, and then you got a black shirt. Like it just makes you think, is he trying to sit there and say that in the wrong way, that everyone's life matters, or I don't know what he's trying to do, right? I think there has to be something else behind it. I don't think he's definitely a conversation starter. And
Yeah.
sometimes we may not agree with it or his approach to it, but it is what it is. But and everyone's like, well, this is the person you buy his shoes of, this, that, and the third. I mean, I think the man just has a very interesting way of getting his messages across. right? And
No, he does.
prove
He
that.
does.
I think there are better ways than others. So I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one. I'm waiting to see what happens with more of this because something else big has to happen, just in the sense of like what the fuck he's talking about.
Exactly. It's a little too early to call it because I know he also got some heat from, the guy who, the creator of Supreme. Because I guess, he called him out on, some stuff, with Virgil, so. I mean, Kanye, as usual, has a whole bunch of plates spinning.
Right?
The man has a lot going on all different fronts. So I guess more to come. We may have to double back on that one. Once there's some more context surrounding it, because right now, his actions are real surface level.
Sure.
So you really can't dig deep and pick it apart because we don't have all of his intentions and his motive and his rationale. That's all kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah, no, for real, for real. And I love when people sit there and be like, "Oh, so this is this is the person's shoe you bought, or you done A, B, and C." I like what the fuck.
Yeah,
Leave me the fuck alone. Like I like what I like. Like I'm gonna. It is what it is, right? And as you can see, like I'm not a name brand like a name brand what they call a name brand whore, right? Like I don't have to have all the logos and stuff like that. You just like something that you like.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
and so I don't know. I mean, you can't sit there and hate because there's some shit that comes out that he has that is crazy, and there's some shit that like that. I'm gonna pass on those.
Nah, you're right. And speaking of merch, have you had a chance to check out that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary on Netflix yet?
So that's another controversy. I probably shouldn't touch, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And yeah, your man said he wants a pair of shades.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they got the shades going for for a nice amount of money too, man. It is wild because I remember the
Aviators, aren't they?
yeah, and I remember the story and the court case and things like that, and I know it is like controversy surrounding that because they're like, hey, what about the victims' families and having to relive that and things of that nature, which I understand on that point as well. Because I'm not gonna lie, I know I think the series is like 10 episodes. I think I'm still stuck on maybe episode 4 or 5. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to watch and a lot to take in. But just looking at the commercialization of things with and and again, this is what I've heard. I haven't seen it, but I heard Grand Theft Auto, GTA. I heard they're able to create his character. I heard something about NBA 2K3, and I'm like, hold on, NBA 2K3. How do you even have this guy's likeness in a basketball game? Which I'm still trying to kind of get past that, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just that people are just jumping on anything to try to connect what's controversial or what's hot and infuse that into their marketing strategy. And it feels like some people are kind of overreaching of trying to capitalize on that. But
That thing is wild. I mean, they're fucking aviators, right? But the gold tint, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? And fucking aviators, you can find them all over, right? So I think it's just like you say. I mean, again, you like what you like, and then I will still, like you said, that whole Jeffrey Dahmer story, man. It's just because you're like he, look, this what is behind.
yeah,
I think that is families have to relive that. I think that's the fucked up part about it. And so since the families have to relive it, I think that makes it harder, obviously, to watch. But you think about a lot of stuff that are remade that impacts folks, right? And so some of those things that are based off of true stories, right? And
yeah,
that was a horrific story, but at the same time, every day we're reminded about, racism, and we're reminded about, what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man, it's
You
various
watch,
things. Yeah,
you watch movies that took place in certain demographics that impacted communities, and they got to continue to relive how it was, right? So, like you said, I
yeah,
think some people. I mean, like I said, I think it's a very serious subject, and or I say serious more like it sucks that families have to relive it, but at the same time, is it's deep. It's fucked up.
yeah. It is, man. Because spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it. Like I said, I'm only 4 or 5 episodes in, but I did find it interesting. How definitely the first couple episodes how they were kind of showing his his family structure, the relationship with his father and his mother and his grandmother, and kind of how he came to be the individual that the world knew him as. So I was looking at it from that perspective because it's always we a lot of times we see the end result of things. We see kind of the actions he took.
Yeah,
But seeing the his upbringing and how he went down that path. I mean, that's one of the things I like to do with anything. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to glorify his actions. Because it's definitely the man was wrong for what he was doing. But it put an interesting perspective on it. Of seeing that childhood and how he came up and
yeah,
just how this man was just getting away with things is just getting away with things for so long. When there were so many red lights and so many opportunities. When he could have been stopped or caught. So it's going to be a very interesting show. Once
yeah.
I can get to the rest of it, I'm gonna try to pick it back up. Next weekend. Got some stuff going on this weekend, but Jeffrey Dahmer, man, wild dude. That's all I can say.
Now I get you, but that's I'm gonna push the envelope a little bit. So there's a big controversy about how Netflix took off the LBGTQ, right?
Okay.
Um, there are a lot of people that are up in arms about that, about not taking it off, but why they even had it up. So the Netflix, quietly took it down.
Mm.
And I don't know, man. I think to have the label on there, it could have been like I don't know, it could have just been I don't want to say synonym, but just another choice of words because you know how like on the shows it kind of tells you why it's rated that, right?
Yeah.
And so there are other shows, and there are a lot of other shows that sit there and have like homosexuality on there. So the fact that folks are mad because they label it as LGBTQ, I don't know, it just kind of throws me off. Like, I mean, that's what's involved in it. At the same time, as if you're watching a show, I mean, there's some people that may not like it. And you may hate that there are homophobic people out there or people who don't want to see it, but I mean, at the end of the day, is I don't know. I don't know what the problem is of having it on there. That's my own
Yeah.
personal opinion, right? It's like,
Yeah.
tell me what the difference of having that on there or putting that there's homosexuality on there, there's nudity on there, there's drug use on there. I mean, it's kind of telling you what's involved in it. So there may be some scenes in there that maybe you can't stomach or tolerate. And I'm saying whether it's like, for instance, there's this show I watched, and it wasn't a show; it was like a documentary, and it come up to be a
Okay.
spook, right? But it was Joaquin Phoenix when it was some wild shit, but it ended up, from what I hear, it ended up being a spook. But I had to turn that shit halfway off because even in the credits it said drug use. But
Okay.
in this, his drug use was needles. I can
Mm.
tolerate needles, but I can't like one thing I don't fuck with is like heroin shots, like in the arms and shit. Like that's you know,
Yeah.
give me one in the movie maybe, but I'm still probably good. But when you in that movie, you had so many of them, so I appreciate that it had that. I mean, I watched it at my own You know what I'm saying? On their own risk. And that's what it was, and I turned it off and kept moving. But so there's nothing wrong, I don't think, putting a label on it. Because that's what the fuck, if that's what the fuck is in it, that's what's in it.
Exactly.
Like
and then it's up to you to decide, if you want to, take part in watching it or not. So, I totally agree with you, man. And that's why, it's to each his own. And that's the beauty of Netflix and streaming. It's like you are not forced to watch anything you don't want to watch. Everything is a choice. If there's something on there that's not for you, I will skip it. Give it a thumbs down, so that way it doesn't show up in your suggestions. Something along those lines. But it's content for everyone, and you choose what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch. If there's something out there that you don't like, skip it.
Yeah, facts. Keep it moving, right? But then it goes even deeper. One person made a comment saying, "This is not the image I want it to portray it as." To me, I feel that was the stupidest fucking comment in the world, right? It's so like little-minded. And it shows, and maybe that's why 98% of shit on TV should just be taken off, period. If people are just that weak to sit there and think that this one person is going to represent an entire group of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. When someone made that comment, it's like, again, people fucking fish for the stupidest shit, and you're like, shut the fuck up. Like, shit ain't that deep. Like, shit is fucking. There's shit going on in the show that they're letting folks know. And then I don't even know how I feel about Netflix taking it down, because they should have something there, whether it's nudity, sexuality, whatever it is. They should say what that shit is, right? And so they can know if someone wants to watch it with their 10-year-old. I'm not sure they should be watching it, but say they want to watch it. It's only going to get butt so wild, but it's also letting them know like what's in there. And so I don't know, it just throws me off, man, when people just reach for shit like that. Again, that right there, that comment just shows as if that individual feels that that's how people are going to portray a certain group of folks. And that's just not cool. It's just like, if you sit there and you're watching fucking New Jack City, and it says drugs, this, and you have black folks on there, you're going to sit there and say every black folk, it's like, no, that's not the way that's not. And that's what I'm saying. That's what's wrong with the world. People keep grouping and putting people inside this box.
Yeah.
And it's your own folks. Like the fact that I don't know who that individual was. Like, I don't know them from a can of paint, but for you to make that comment, I thought that was the stupidest shit in the world. I was like, you you did not help anything right there.
No, comedians have said it best, that, the world is getting to be too sensitive, where, the slightest thing, everyone's, up in arms and, trying to get, everyone canceled and, things of that nature. And, I totally agree with that. I mean, there's so many, other things, going on in the world that, some of these, and I want to say, minute issues, but some of these, little things just get the biggest attention. While you've got these huge issues out there that just get, ping pong, back and forth because, people are afraid to have those discussions and those conversations and, try to find, some sort of, resolution behind it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the sensitivity meter is off the chart these days.
Sensitivity, that's the crazy thing about it, man. You can't say nothing, right? Like, someone's always going to get offended. Someone's always going to feel this way. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Calm down. Like, life's not that deep. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Because, just relax, right? And I was talking with my folks today about this, right? There's just certain things, everyone has a threshold, right? And no one wants to be disrespectful.
Exactly.
But the time is, you're not about to let anyone determine what your next move is about to be off of something that they said.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, you could defend yourself, but why don't you kill him with some intelligence, right? And maybe get some facts or something behind it, right? You ain't gotta sit there and start getting rah-rah, remove type shit, or start a petition. No, just chill the fuck out. Like, that's what the fuck is in the show. That's what's in the show. Keep it moving. And that has no play on that community. You know?
Yeah.
And so I just think it's fucking stupid, man. Like, I don't know. That I was looking at that and I was like, you know what? This shit's just retarded. Like, it's what the man was. The man was gay.
Yeah.
Right? So, but you're not identifying him with the entire gay culture. I mean, unless he's like your fucking spokesperson. Is he the face of gay? You know, it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And so that's my
Well,
thought. I mean, again, I'm not, again, it's not even on that. It's just like, let's be real with it, right? It's like, let's not be, tone down a little bit. We don't gotta be so sensitive.
well, one thing I'm trying to get my head around is, I've been seeing, a lot on social media this week about this young lady who was talking about low vibration plates. And I'm still trying to understand just exactly what it was she was talking about because, she's like, oh, somebody puts this on my plate, I'm not forced to eat it, and this and that, going back and forth. And everybody's talking about low vibration meals. And I'm like, man, what the heck is a low vibration plate?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? I'm consistent. I'm saying people are just making shit up. Like, it doesn't even make like the low vibration plate. I mean, is it like a plate full of carbs where you feel sluggish afterwards? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it turkey after Thanksgiving that makes you go to sleep? Like, what the fuck is low
Yeah,
vibration thing? Or is it something that's not seasoned? You know, like, what the fuck is it?
man. And I'm not even gonna lie, man. When I first saw it, I was, so blown away. I went straight to Google and typed in, low vibration plate. And they started trying to sell me some plates on Amazon. And I'm like, all right, well, this definitely ain't, what she was talking about. And they started describing, what the plate does and this and that. I'm like, whoa, whoa. So I had to go back and, watch the clip again. And, it's another lady sitting beside her, like, yeah, that's right. Because, if I don't want to eat this or eat that and going back and forth. So again, it's one of those things of where, I didn't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe, next week, more will come out to, exactly what the heck they were talking about.
Yeah,
But
maybe we ask that
I
question.
have no idea, man.
Yeah, it's that question to the group. If someone can give me a good explanation or a good definition of what low vibration plate, and I'm talking about a decent definition,
Yes, break it down.
something could be coming your way.
Yes.
So hit us up, let us know, because honestly, yeah, I just don't get it, man. Like, I think people just fish for so much shit. Like, this world's just after, cloud chasing, and honestly, man, people are making money off of social media, just saying shit.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
phrase you can make up, and you can just, you get some buzz behind it, right?
Yeah, man.
And hats off if you figure out what your fucking slogan's about to be or whatever your brand's about to be, rock out and do it. But there's just some shit you'd be like, come on now, I'm confused.
Man, I agree. I need to be enlightened and educated on just what this is because
It makes me think maybe it's just like food you don't have a taste for. Like, you know what? I don't want chicken today, so this shit has low vibration. I want fucking salmon. You know what? Fuck it. I don't want salmon. I want some fucking fried shrimp. That's low vibration. Shit I don't want. That's what I'm gonna say it is. Low vibration. It's shit I don't want on my fucking plate. So if I go to someone's house and you make fucking a nasty mac and cheese, I'm like, this shit got low vibration. I don't. That's the only thing I think.
Hey, and you know what? And that's a statement, I can get behind and run with because that was straightforward to the point and broke down exactly, what it was. Because right now, like I said, I'm lost. I'm in the dark.
Yeah,
I'm looking at her plate and I'm looking at the lady's plate beside it. The only difference I saw in the plate was the lady who was giving the spiel on low vibration. had like, 2 baby barbecue, chicken wings and, maybe some asparagus or something on the side. And the other young lady had, some mashed potatoes on it. So maybe it is tied to the carbs. I don't know.
And maybe it's the carbs. And maybe it's a new fucking, I don't know, keto, paleo. What are the other diets that you don't have certain shit on? I don't know. Maybe it's a new thing.
Oh yeah, South Beach diet. Yeah, man, it's a new trend. It's a new trend.
Yeah.
We're just not hip yet. We're not caught up on it yet.
Yeah, we'll wait till the 75-pager book comes out on it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just stupid shit. There's gonna be an audio. Someone's gonna spend time on trying to talk for 75 pages on what vibration plate is, and you're just like, you know what? You gotta go do something with yourself, man. You gotta find something else to fill your time up with.
Exactly. Give me the 15-minute TED talk. With pictures and video. I need to abbreviate a version of this.
Yeah, facts. So yeah, that's what I think it is. Because when you think about vibration, you just think about, all right, well, this person has a bad vibe or bad energy. So maybe don't. That's the only thing I can think of. I think this whole again, that's the world we live in now.
It is, man. It is, man. So, what else you got on your mind over there?
Nothing much, man. I mean, like I say, man, I'm just trying to get ready, man. We get into the holiday season. A few more episodes will be at our 1 year down in the books.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to say that's a cheers right there in itself.
Yes, and
we toast the whole time. We're just we getting closer to that, and so just cooling, man, just cooling. That's about it.
I got one more thing I wanted to pick your brain on.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been reading a lot about DoorDash and DoorDash tips, and the conversation is centered around that some dashers don't pick up food because folks aren't tipped enough, and they're like, if it's under $10 and there's no tip, I'm not gonna get it. So restaurants have bags of food piling up. Customers have food that you think is going to be there in 35 minutes that you've been waiting for, which I've been in that situation before.
Yeah.
And now your food's delayed and it's not getting there for an hour. And it centers around the conversation. It's centered around tipping before a service is rendered. Because like in Uber, after your Uber drops you off, it's like, okay, now you can rate them and now you can tip them. With DoorDash, you got to put the tip on up front, and your food hasn't arrived yet. And that's one of the things I was never really on board with, because if I'm tipping you 20-25% and my food's not even here yet, and now my food is late or my order is wrong, and I got to go back to the app and sit here and complain and get money back and things of that nature. Do you think that folks should be tipping, before the service is rendered, before they get their food?
So I'm gonna keep it 100. I've been in the service before. So I believe in good service, right? But when it goes to DoorDash, to me, you already get the surcharge for gas. You already get, whatever extra. And I don't know what your contract is, but unfortunately, that's not my. Like I didn't sign up to work for Uber Eats or whatever the fuck you want to call it. DoorDash. That's. I'm not doing that, so I don't know what's behind it. And there's nothing wrong with it. Make sure you know that. So, but I will say that is, for me, I kind of treat it just like it is like takeout, right? So I tip the same amount no matter how much it is. I'll leave it at that, right? Okay. I tip it the same amount, right? No matter what it is. And it's the same dollar amount. It could be $20. It should be $140. It's going to get the same fucking tip amount.
Okay.
So, and call me what you want. It is what it is. But I feel that when you tip them up front, it does suck. But that's also why I just kind of give them that same amount just to avoid that. Because I'm gonna give them something for whether you bring my food and my pizza was upside down, then I'm just gonna complain about it, right? And it's like, all right, you got that, I'll get my shit back, and I don't know if it gets taken out of your next check or how that shit works, but that's how I feel about that. Because I heard that story before of people not picking up food because you're not tipping. So I'm hoping my little, my couple little dollars that I throw in there, are kind of an incentive to pick my shit up. That's what I hope. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's wild. I mean, even for that, but honestly, like you say, I don't know. And I can see both sides, right, of why you don't. But that's the job you picked. You're in that world, Mississippi, it sucks. And unfortunately, some people who's ruined it for the whole group. A couple bad apples, but it is what it is. And yeah, it does suck. But again, that's their job. They should be able to do their job. And now, we moved out of just porch pirates from stealing packages. You got fucking people, you got Door Dashers or whoever you want to call them, whatever. You got people in areas putting the food down, taking a picture of it, and then walking away with it again.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know, man. I can see both sides. Like, yeah, I shouldn't have to tip you. Treat the shit like Domino's. I'll tip you in cash when you get here.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence of that because I've gotten great service, bad service, but again, they still got the same amount.
Yeah.
Nothing's more annoying, especially when it's raining and it's the whole contactless thing, and they put that shit wet porch, and like motherfucker,
bag falling apart.
You do that? Like, come on, you could just ring my doorbell. Like, just ring the doorbell, motherfucker. You could have waited for 2 more seconds. Like, I was gonna be there. Now I got a soggy bag. I gotta take everything out the bag because if I don't carry out the bag, it's just gonna fall through the bag. What the fuck, man? So that's why I say. And then I do a couple things down. Like, yeah, you put my shit in the rain.
So, it's crazy, man. Because I be tracking my food deliveries. Like I track Amazon packages, man. It's like, all right, they on the corner. All right, I'm at the door meeting you. I'm like, all right, cool. Because if I've ordered the food.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to take 35 minutes to get here. Obviously, I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here, minute by minute, hitting the refresh button to the point my thumb is getting numb because I'm like, nah, where are they at? All right, 5 minutes out, 2 minutes out, 1 minute. Oh, they come around the corner. Okay, I'm here because I've had this situation of where bags left on the porch and the steam from the bag is seeping through, so the bag is falling apart. And I'm not trying to be one of those folks that. You pick your food up, now your food's all over the porch. And now you got to start the process all over again. Or, go in the kitchen and start whipping something up,
Now you got to cook. You know what I'm saying? You pay and now you still got to cook your own shit. Yeah, nah. No
exactly. Nah.
Wait up for me. Now I'm with you. And I will say real quick about porch pie. It made me think, right? You asked me what was on my chest. It made me just think. I'm glad you brought that up. So I never got hit with a porch pirate until recently. For some strange reason, I looked on my camera, right? And so it was like a couple of days later, and my wife was like, "Hey, did you bring a box in?" I'm like, "Nah, I didn't bring no box in." He always got. I'm like, "Nah, I didn't bring no box in." He was like, "Oh, well, I ordered some diapers." I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool, right?" And the reason why I'm saying what it is because I need you to understand how this story. Like, yeah, I ordered some diapers. I'm like, yeah, all right, well. I was like, well, and so then day goes by. She's like, well, it said it was delivered on such and such day. And I'm like, all right, let me look on the cameras, right? So I looked on the camera, and somebody dropped it at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then took it off my porch at 4:04 in the morning.
Man.
Right? So first of all, why the fuck you dropping my shit off at 3 o'clock in the morning? That's one, right?
Yeah, that's a wild delivery time.
Yeah, that's why the fuck are you doing? Because it makes me now think that you had it in your car, you're riding around doing what the fuck you want to do. You probably went on a date. You probably didn't, you know what I'm saying, hung out with Slim. Then you probably sit there and said, all right, you know what? On my way back, I'm going to drop it off over here. There's got to be a story behind it. The fuck you're out at 3 o'clock in the morning dropping my shit off.
Yeah.
And then it fast forwards to 4:04 and the shit disappears, not on my porch no more, right? So then it makes you sit there and think, you're like, who the fuck is going to steal someone's diapers?
Exactly.
And I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it makes me think. Like, it's tough out here in this world, and maybe somebody stole them because they could, you know, pawn them off for, you know, some whatever they're looking for their. But come on, man. Why the fuck you gonna steal my daughter's diapers? That's some selfish shit. She do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
what the fuck? And then the crazy thing is, I was watching the news the very next day, and somebody broke into the car and stole the daughter's book bag. It was like a little like kids, like like the Power Pups or whatever you call them, puppy dog, right? Puppy Patrol. Don't ask me why I know, but it's whatever, right? So puppy book bag, and because nothing was in it, they threw it down the street. Like, you just sit there and think, man. That's why I say, man, this world, man, you just sit there and you're like, you know what? This world right now, I think it's, with everything going on, I think everyone, again, like I will always say, at the end of the night, in the day, just make sure you make what you need.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, let it go. You know, forgive. It's hard to forget, but let it go. Keep it moving, because you can't put no more energy in that. That's just too much. There's too much going on.
Nah,
yeah, I'm still trying to let go of the diapers being stolen. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, you know, I'm not a violent man, but I would love to have a non-verbal conversation with the individual that stole my daughter. You know?
Man, that's wild, man. That's wild, man.
Yeah, man.
What you got lined up for the weekend?
What's this weekend? You know, it's fall time, you know, and one thing we're starting to implement to an annual family thing is that good old pumpkin patch apple picking type of thing. Right?
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. So last year was the first year we did it, right? And we went to this place out in PA. I forget. Like me, my cousins, you know, our little ones. It was a great fucking time. My cousin, we started a little stand, and we they had apple cider donuts.
Oh man.
Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of those things. You know how like some people sit there and think like, all right, I get this one dish one time a year. That's like the world's greatest fix. and they serve them fucking warm.
Oh man.
It's like an old fashioned with like, it's like an old fashioned donut, like, but just apple cider. I'm not gonna lie.
So that's your pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to tell you, but I think they were just so good. It's like, I don't even know if I want to taste them from anywhere else, right? I feel like, yeah, man. I think, yeah, you're right. That's my pumpkin spice latte. Like, that's just, I gotta get that fixed, man. I got that itch, man. It's so we looking at that. It's either, you know, I think we may be going up to go visit some folks and try to hit up out there so I can get my fix. You know, I will say,
man,
really for the little one, but you know, the adults got to find some good time as well. And they got, I mean, it's pretty cool though. They got that like hot apple cider, then you get some brandy in it. I mean, they do the whole thing for kids to adults. So it's a cool little time. You know, it's real dope.
What's up, man?
Real dope. So looking forward to that. You know, that's what season it is. So
yeah,
no complaints. What you got?
You know, seasons are changing out here. You know, now it's It's only about 95 degrees a day, so winter is definitely on the cusp of a winter out here. So this weekend we are going glamping, you know, glamping, on the beach, So it's this spot, they have these tents, set up and have different activities, and I'm not a big camper, So I said the only way I would go camping would be on some level, like this, where you kind of get the camping experience, but you also still have showers and bathrooms and all
Yeah,
that stuff. So
that's dope.
so we're gonna try that out, this weekend. It's kind of a work trip. So got some colleagues, who organized it. So I'll let you know, how that goes, because I just
Yeah.
found out last night that it's like community bathrooms. So I'm like, whoa, it's like a
Mm.
private bathroom attached to the tent. It's not like a little shower outside. You just pull the cord. So
Mm.
I'm not overly excited about this community restroom situation, but I'm excited to see what this glamping experience is about. And also, since winter is rolling around out here, it's also yacht season. So I got a couple birthday parties and boat parties lined up in the coming weeks. So I mean that should be pretty cool, man. Now that the weather has cooled off some, you can get back outside. Patios and rooftops opening up. So now you get to, fully, submerge yourself in, the Dubai outdoor experience. So that's about it for us this weekend.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. You gotta let us know. It's funny talking about winter seasons approaching at 95 degrees. I'm good on that.
Hey man, after it's been 130 degrees, man, 90 is refreshing. You go outside in the morning and walk the dog, it's like 85 degrees. Still a little humid, but it's cool, man. So now I'm working on my my winter outfit, fits, getting that all together. But
No, that's the same.
we'll see.
Give me a polo tee and keep it moving. Like, it's too hot to be wearing long sleeves out there. Too hot.
Oh, hey, now and see that's the thing, Now I wear polos year round out here, but there's some folks, because the temperature drops down at night to where, maybe like 65, 70 degrees.
That's true. That's
And you'll see folks out here with the boots on and the Montclair jackets and scarves and scullies and things of that nature. I don't know if at this juncture of my experience out here, if I'm going to be that locked in and that engaged, to the winter fashions. But I will tell you that after it being 130 degrees, when it swings to 70, that 50 or 60 degree differential, it does, hit the body different, but if anything, it'd be long sleeves and, hoodie, maybe somewhere along those lines with jeans, but, definitely no bubble coats and scullies. I haven't gone, that far, off the rails yet. And I say yet because, it's still early.
I can dig it. No parking. I got you.
Still early. Well, hey, once again, shout out to Chiefs to you, for sponsors. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can keep up with us on Twitter at In the Bowl Pod. We always say we're two highly opinionated individuals, and we always discuss things, and we don't steer away from topics. We have no issues with giving you our opinions on it, and we're definitely looking forward to hearing your opinions on anything we may have said. Definitely get back to us on this whole low vibrational plates. Let us know what that's about, because we are totally in the dark, and if you don't educate us, we're just gonna go what we think it is and just run with it, because that makes sense.
That's what we do. It makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And last but not least, don't forget to keep those hookahs clean. After every use, wash it out, clean it, so that way, you have somebody come over, or you're ready for your smoke. Things are already set up. You cut your prep time in half. So until next week, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
And as always, click, like, and subscribe.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.